Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the It Doesn't Matter podcast. We've got myself, Saigon John. You may also know me as Strapfax. And we also have.
The Dominican Dream, baby. This is Papi Platano.
There he is. And we have.
I am the Notorious One. I am Dom. Boom.
That's right. This week we're here to discuss the legacy, the championship reign of the one, the only head of the table, the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Dom, what do we have going on with the tribal chief?
Roman Reigns, the tribal chief. Guys, we witness an era of the tribal chief running down the gauntlet, facing all these Hall of Fame worthy competitors. Like, we're at the age we didn't really see Hogan dominate his reign, but we seen Roman Reigns reign. He did the damn thing, and it started when he made that announcement that he had leukemia, which was an unfortunate time, and he had to leave and go take care of business. But when he did come back, that boy dominated. He wrecked it. He wrecked everyone, and he left.
Yeah.
And he has some. And he has some new teeth.
We got the veneers.
Them veneers.
Oh, yeah.
Them Shannon Sharps.
The chickless.
Tell him.
Guys.
Tell him what you know.
1,316 days as your undisputed Universal Champion. I know every week in the It Doesn't Matter podcast, I would say let's acknowledge your tribal chief. But we're going to do it one more time today because why not? He's a tribal chief. His birthday is approaching. So this episode is dedicated to the tribal chief. We're going to talk about some of his opponents. Strapfax going to break down the matches from what he remembers. And you already know Papi Platano is going to give you his point of view. But let's get right into it, guys. Payback, August of 2020. He won the Universal title. John, do you know against who?
Was it Payback? Well, apparently there was we try to forget everything in the pandemic era, the Thunderdome era. Who wants to hear the word Thunderdome ever again?
Ugh.
But wasn't it the case of the Fiend and Braun Strowman going at it, and then somehow Roman Reigns got inserted into that, or was it after the match?
Correct. It was Braun
It was during the
Strowman
show.
and the Fiend. A triple threat match.
Yeah.
There you go.
Ugh.
Look at you, John. 1 for 1. You hot right now, buddy.
Not even. I wasn't even positive, but I got most of it. Any more broccoli in my teeth?
What do you think about that match?
Good Lord. Just, I mean, hey, anything goes in the pandemic. Anything goes in the Thunderdome era. But, Braun Strowman, became Universal Champion. He was in Roman Reigns' original spot. Roman Reigns couldn't do it at the time because of, the sensitive nature of the COVID. So Braun Strowman was put in the WrestleMania spot against Goldberg. And Goldberg apparently liked him, allegedly. So he let him basically squash him at the WrestleMania Thunderdome, or PC, rather. And Braun Strowman had probably one of the worst championship reigns ever. His highlight being a title defense against The Miz and Morrison. But I like Braun, so we were trying to give him a shot, and then he was going against The Fiend, and I just saw an image of him wearing that sheep mask or something like that, and him doing the pose against The Fiend. It's like, Jesus. And then they had this.
Was that a gimmick match?
They're all gimmick matches.
The House of Horrors, I think it was, or something like
Yeah,
that.
it was. Yeah,
Now,
did
was
somebody
it-
get somebody get reincarnated or something like that?
Oh my
Yeah, his the black sheep
Sure.
part.
That
So
was-
I guess he was looking for Bray everywhere, couldn't find him. Goes to the Lake of
Lake of Isles,
yeah.
Foxwoods.
But
So basically, Bray's character pulls him into the river or the lake, and then he gets reincarnated. And just it was crazy. It was trying to be something like what the House Hardy does, but it didn't go with what we were probably looking at. Yeah, they've had other iterations of something similar to that with the Boneyard match, or if they went that way, it would have maybe made more sense. But it was almost like a horror movie. You weren't really watching the match.
a cinematic match.
I can't even call it a match, really. He had a few things in there.
Let's not try to revisit it too closely.
Yeah,
But Roman Reigns just I don't know, just came back out of nowhere, and he immediately made an association with Paul Heyman. So really stamping his turn as a heel. After being a stubborn babyface for so long, something John Cena never could do. So it was a new era beginning for Roman Reigns, and no one really knew how it was going to start off. But you know, if you're Randy Orton, you just retweeted a nice picture pointing out his veneers. So who knew? Who knew where the title reign would go at the time? But yeah, Roman Reigns in a triple threat match with the Fiend and Brawny the Strowman.
I don't think he was being stubborn to be a heel. I think that was Vince's call. He wanted to push him to be that guy, so
Right.
it wasn't happening. But unfortunately, when he had his leukemia and he was gone for how long was he gone for? Like 8 months or so.
nah, less than that.
He's
I'd
gone from
say
around
about 6.
October of 2018, September,
Yeah.
October 2018 to
About
March
September,
of 2019.
Was it March? I thought he was in February.
Well,
Yeah,
he
it's close
came back.
enough.
He came back for WrestleMania at MetLife,
Okay, that's why I remember.
Well, it doesn't matter. But anyways,
squashing Drew McIntyre.
And nobody wanted to see that.
yeah, anyways,
No one wanted to boo him.
it took time and
Um,
it was a work in progress. But it was still no fans at the time, so we really didn't know what we had if he was going to be that top heel per se because of the fans and the pandemic.
so he
Everybody was
wasn't
on
a heel. He wasn't
Everybody
a
was on
heel
the screen.
before?
Now he just came back. It was like, Michael Cole could do what's best for him, but there's just no fans in the building at the time, so it was kind of on the rough side.
Yes.
All right, but his next title defense, Clash of the Champions against Jey Uso.
So soon.
Well, his first title defense against Jey Uso, yeah,
Yeah.
I
it
just,
was real soon.
it's not, I mean, even right now, that wasn't really something that interested me then. I mean, Jey Uso, of course, right now is very over, the premier babyface on the Raw brand. But at the time, he was just, he was just one half of a tag team, and his partner was injured. So, I mean, they did build up a big story. This is where main event Jey Uso came from. But kind of like a new beginning. It isn't always the cleanest thing. But yeah, I just like I said, a lot of things during the pandemic era you couldn't really be truly invested in, and I just wasn't invested in any of this early stuff in Roman's title reign.
Well, this is a good way to build up and coming potential main eventers, So we got main event Jey Uso. But do you know how Roman won right here?
Yes, I do. He was choking him out, and then his brother threw in the towel because he told him, "Hey, he's had enough. You're the tribal chief," because they were fighting for supremacy of who was going to be the one control of the tribe, basically the family.
Correct. Big
So
brother
have-
Jimmy saved the day.
Yeah, this story I actually like because it ties in kind of like how my family is. I'm the oldest cousin, and we meet up for some reason. We have our little beefs like any cousins were when we were younger, but it seems like the oldest cousins or the guys that's always being so successful, is always looking out for the other ones. Like, hey, how you doing? What are you doing in life? Hey, how can I bring you up? And some guys aren't like that. When it comes to family, there are some dysfunctional ones, but this one, I liked it just because it had a hierarchy of who is gonna be the one taking care of the family and who's not at that level. So for me, I liked the story, even though it was that whole pandemic era, and I was like, is this gonna work? And it caught my eye.
All right. Well, our next match, his next title defense, is in Hell in a Cell against Jey Uso again. Roman beat his ass again.
Was this the one where he?
Not Roman beat his ass again, and this is when Jimmy came out. He was trying to stop Roman from beating him. Wasn't he beating him with like the kendo stick or something like that? He was whooping him with something. I can't forget. I don't remember what foreign object it was, but yeah, he's like, "We're family, we're family." He's crying and whatnot. Next thing you know, I believe that's after the match. I think that's when his uncle and his dad came out and they put the chili peppers on his neck.
The,
I really didn't.
Oh
I didn't like that necklace, man, or whatever.
it's called the Alafalu.
Gesundheit. It just looked really. I don't know. It looked really fake to me, but when they zoomed in and you looked really closely, yeah, it did look nicer, but from a distance, it just looked really silly to me. So I never really didn't. It wasn't over for me, brother. Oh, there it is. His all his opponent's ears dipped in the cherry.
So wait, wasn't the Hell in the Cell match an I Quit match instead? That's when when his brother actually protected him, or was it the previous match before?
Damn, a gimmick match with a gimmick? That's crazy.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Strap.
A no holds barred tuxedo match.
Harvey Whippleman and Howard Finkel.
And Tori Wilson. No idea.
All right. Yeah, it's my brain is like around this era.
We have to relive the pandemic.
Oh
No.
God, no.
Okay,
Somebody vote on it. Somebody write on the IDM page that we want pandemic shows.
Oh God, Dante, don't you dare!
who cut
All
off his
right.
message? We want the pandemic.
All right, so our next match, Survivor Series, Drew McIntyre. Strap, what you remember about this?
It was continuing the tradition of champion versus champion matches, and Drew McIntyre, long history with me. But yeah, like Drew McIntyre killing it as the WWE champion, and oh my god, I can't tell if he's on top or if I am. But yeah, Drew McIntyre, yeah, he was the man on Raw, and Roman was the man on SmackDown, and I really thought that they should have given Drew McIntyre the bump here, but that's how much they were so still invested in Roman Reigns that they gave him the win over Drew, which, you know, Roman, I guess. It makes sense in the end, but at the time, I really thought, hey, you know, it should have been Drew, but
Yeah,
Roman
That's
won.
good that you said that. So far, he beat Braun, Bray, Jey Uso twice. So you think Drew had the opportunity to beat him at this time?
Yeah, Drew McIntyre was the man during the pandemic, and he was, you know, he's working really strong. Although, you know, they did break his title reign for a little bit with Randy Orton holding it for a little patch of time.
Yep.
But no, I thought it was, when I look back on it, I was like, it should have been Drew. But also looking back on it, good thing they didn't. Good thing they kept it with Roman Reigns, keeping him super strong for the next 2 years.
All right. So
I totally
after
agree with you,
this-
John. Though too, the way he was going through that pandemic, he was the hottest wrestler in all the industry.
Drew?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
he
oh yeah.
he was
for sure.
definitely the guy.
Oh yeah, we was all happy that Drew got his moment. Just sucked that there's nobody there to really witness it. You know.
I know it's sad that he didn't get to do it in front of a crowd at that moment. I mean, he got the chance to do it this year, but it's not the same. It's not like the first time.
Do you think?
Not like the very first time.
Do you think he's doing his best work now or back when the pandemic happened?
He's doing his best work now, man. It's like I said, these wrestlers have their prime, and he's just not hitting that prime where everything is slowing down now. You don't have to go as fast. The crowd is gonna give you what you need. It, it's just like when we were talking to Just Incredible on Tuesday. When the crowd is going wild, you can calm down and let everything flow. When it's quiet and silent, we're gonna have to work a little bit there, brother.
Or just like Justin Credible said, grab your nuts and go with it. Just be loose, baby. Just be loose.
Stone cold, stone cold.
All right. So our next title defense is at TLC, and he's going against Kevin Owens.
Ah, yes, I remember this match.
Go on.
This is this is the
Yeah.
this is the last man standing match where he was handcuffed to that
False.
no, it wasn't the one?
False.
Family Feud.
Really?
That one I remember. That was at the Rumble.
So at
Oh, so that was at the
TLC,
Rumble?
he fought at TLC. He defended against Kevin Owens. At SmackDown, it was in a steel cage against Kevin Owens, and then the Rumble, last man standing.
See that pandemic is so is rough. That is rough. So go ahead and tell me how that TLC went.
Roman wins again.
Obviously.
Yeah, yeah. As it was just detailed moments ago, this was a feud that was spanning the months, stretching the time out, as it were. But so this Kevin Owens Roman Reigns feud, it would go on another 2 years in pieces. But yeah, the most memorable thing is at the Royal Rumble they had a match, and I think Kevin Owens like handcuffed Roman Reigns to a structure of some sort,
Yep.
and they were or Paul Heyman was involved in that, and they were struggling. I mean,
Yeah.
we're live, pal. There it was Botchamania, where that's what I
Yeah.
remember most. So, but was
Oh,
Kevin
yeah.
Owens a legitimate threat? Sure, it was still early in Roman Reigns' run, sort of. So a chance was there, but when you look back on it, it was just another stepping stone for the tribal chief.
Yep.
Yes. All right, our next title defense. On my notes, I don't have the what show it is, but you probably could refresh my memory. Daniel Bryan.
Oh
He
man,
fought Bryan twice, and one of them was at Fastlane, and then at WrestleMania 37, he had a triple threat match with Bryan and Edge. But wasn't one of them one of in Seattle, right? Didn't he fight him in his hometown for the title?
No, they weren't in crowds yet. Not yet. No.
When did they start? What, WrestleMania was the first one they had with fans?
well, WrestleMania
37?
2021 was in Tampa, so that was the triple threat with Edge and Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns. Stack them, pin them.
Yeah.
But that was the first show that they had with a very minuscule crowd with the fake audience members, which I was a part of. I love my beautiful family members made of cardboard. But they wouldn't welcome back fans until I think July of that year. So it was kind of like a tease almost. Of course, no one was allowed at the 2020 WrestleMania. So no one can claim that as part of the WrestleMania record. But the very next year, 2021, in Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, one person can lay claim to being there. That was me, Rock. That was me the whole time. And let's not get into WrestleMania memories of that because that's not what this show is about. Um, but yeah, that was the main event of night 2. Roman Reigns, I guess, building out that feud there with Daniel Bryan, and of course the Royal Rumble winner that year, the Rated R superstar Edge. That was kind of a weird thing. I mean, it's unfortunate. Edge had his big comeback, then the pandemic stunted it. He came back to the pandemic WrestleMania in a terrible showing with Randy Orton in that hour long last man standing match. And his redemption arc was winning the Royal Rumble and main eventing WrestleMania when they're doing with the first partially live audience 2-night event. And Daniel Bryan got shoved right in there. I think as a last attempt resort by Vince McMahon to attempt to keep him to stay. Daniel Bryan, of course, leaving later to join All Elite Wrestling. So Bryan could, end his career more on his terms. But that's where we can leave off of the WrestleMania main event, triple threat match: Daniel Bryan, Edge, and the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns.
All right. So his next defense is on SmackDown against Daniel Bryan. This is championship versus career. You know what happened there?
Who won?
I remember that he was far away from the heel Planet's champion gimmick, but he had the blue shirt made of recycled bottles. Hey, I like recycled things. I wanted that shirt. But Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson himself has said, "Don't buy my merchandise. You don't need my shirts. You don't need my stuff with my name on it." Yet they still make it because they should, make profit off their superstars and athletes. But that's why I will not buy a Bryan Danielson T-shirt because he said not to.
Just wait for Pro Wrestling Crates.
Sure, if it happens to come across your lap, sure, but don't go buying one. He doesn't want your money.
Oh well. I guess that'll be the last time I get something from him.
Primo.
No.
You don't want that?
You can look, but you don't buy.
Yep.
All right. WrestleMania Backlash. Cesaro.
Oh man, he's kicking all these guys out to the elite.
Did anybody think Cesaro had a chance?
No.
Like a real chance, no. But you wanted to see Cesaro get some respect after having been in the WWE for so long and being a very competent performer for all that time, and his start and stop pushes over the years. But this was his spotlight, but it was his very last spotlight in the WWE. So there he went. But it was a good showing for Cesaro. So
yeah, it again, freaking Cesaro has always been one of those performers that can wrestle with anybody in any style, and it just, I don't get how Vince never saw him in him. Like, dude, you're a global company. You want people to reach all types of different types of countries, and this guy can speak 5 languages, literally, like 5 languages. I still remember that gimmick, and I guess it was legit. He could speak 5 languages. So Dom was his beer.
someone said that Cesaro spoke like Bruno Sammartino used to speak, and I was like, I never forgot that. And it's like, yeah, he's very soft spoken, kind of got a little accent on him, of course.
Like Platano.
Poquito.
So, but yeah, Cesaro, another a fine challenger for Roman Reigns' championship run.
Sad.
Yes. All right. Our next match is on SmackDown, and it's in a Hell in a Cell match against Rey Mysterio.
Ooh, I was gonna finish that sentence. All right.
I don't recall this one.
That's why the pandemic's so bad.
I kind of vaguely remember it. Like that's why I said I was gonna finish that sentence. I'm like, there was something going on. I forget. Maybe they just want to pop some ratings or something. But it was just like, what? Why?
on SmackDown.
Yeah, they just did it. So I was like, okay, and this wasn't even their bigger feud. I think they had one later.
The only thing I can really visualize, my bad. I said the only thing I can really visualize is Rey Mysterio doing a springboard, and he turns and Roman just spears the shit out of him. Is that the finish for that one?
I think so. That sounds like something that will happen
on a SmackDown. These are things that are hard to look up.
I'm trying to figure out.
Hard to watch. Thanks, Peacock.
Did AEW ever get moved during the pandemic, or there was just like nothing going on anyway?
Can you repeat the question?
The AEW show get moved a day or from like Wednesday to maybe like a Friday.
Oh.
Or maybe Rampage started and I don't think they did just yet.
Who knows?
I think they just had that one show. I think they just had Dynamite at the time.
I mean, just trying to find a reason why they would put this Hell in a Cell match.
Just because
there's a reason.
I know. I remember when NXT and AEW were both going head to head. There were times they would have specific matches just to pop a rating, and it's just like, I'm like, okay, it's gonna work for a little bit, and then, boom, what you gonna do next? So
we're gonna go on to his next title defense. That's what.
That's about it.
All right, his next title defense is at Money in the Bank, and he's going against the rated R superstar Edge.
It's his well deserved one-on-one matchup, but by that point, I don't know. Edge is losing his steam. You know, he was, even though it was still a pandemic. I mean, that was, I think, what did you say? Money in the Bank, was it?
Yeah, Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
I think that was their first live show back, I think.
It might have just started.
It was, because wasn't that in Toronto?
I don't know. Maybe. It's hard, man, to think about this stuff at that time.
Fire our research staff. But yeah, I believe that was the case, and Edge did not walk away with the championship. So there we go.
I'm about to look it up right now.
Oh yeah. So Money in the Bank
2021.
Such a long time
Let's
ago.
see.
It's crazy. 3 years
Oh,
ago.
I'm way off. They fought in Fort Worth, Texas.
Oh,
July
wow.
18th, 2021.
Stone's throw from Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
All right, but here we go.
If Superman threw it.
That's perfect, because our next match is at SummerSlam, and this is where things got pretty fun, and he possibly could have lost the title, but we know he didn't. John Cena.
Yes. Yes.
It was a good match. I thought, okay, maybe Cena might be the one to dethrone Roman, but obviously it didn't happen.
Is this when he was, when the hell was it? I think this is when he tried to cut a promo on him, and Roman actually had a good retort to it compared to the last time he did that, and he just couldn't. He didn't have anything because obviously Vince. He's like, here's this dog food. You're the big dog. Stupid.
Remember that? Who fed him dog food, or rember that shit on SmackDown?
Baron Corbin.
Oh my lord.
Constable
Corbin. Yeah.
Bark.
It wasn't doing that. Yeah.
John, remember this match? Cena, SummerSlam?
Yeah, I was there.
Where was it?
I remember it more for, I believe Brock Lesnar came out after that match, didn't he? And his new getup with the ponytail and the blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, this is in Las Vegas. Man, I was looking hot. Check the archives. Picture. Check the archives for the photos. But did Cena have a chance of beating Roman? No, but it was an exciting match to see. The two top athletes, and of course everyone's going to go crazy for John Cena making his return. But in the modern era, not just speaking of Roman's title reigns, but most modern wrestling, even the WrestleManias I've attended, I don't watch them back. And SummerSlam is one of those shows I have not watched back. And why? it was. I mean, my memory will tell you. Oh, it was a great show. But I haven't watched that match back. I haven't watched any of it back. I mean, that was a show where Edge faced Seth Rollins, and he came back as sticking with that Brood character, baby, and that was a big
Yeah.
pop
That was
there.
dope.
And
That was dope.
and they were still doing a limited. I mean, it was originally supposed to take place somewhere else, I think, and then it just happened to be in Allegiant Stadium. I think it's supposed to be outside, outside
Yeah.
in Vegas in August. Holy
Yeah.
smokes!
I remember that. So I think it was supposed to be at Allegiant Stadium, and then they moved it to like the basketball arena because they
Well,
couldn't get
no,
the
it
tickets.
was in Allegiant Stadium.
It
in
was.
Raiders. It was in Raider Stadium. Yeah.
I could have
I don't
sworn.
know.
This is 2021.
See,
Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
I remember they did one. They were supposed to do it in one show, and then they moved it to a small arena because the ticket sales weren't. They weren't gonna admit that, but
that was WrestleMania 7.
stop it.
That's for some reason. That other reason. They came around
Or
and
maybe
build it
maybe
up.
they did. They maybe they did book it at that, and then it just they tapered everything else differently. 'Cause they
Well, as
weren't
it was,
expecting-
the arena was half blocked off, so they, however they shot it, they made it look good.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. So anyway, back to Roman Reigns here. Roman Reigns and John Cena. Hey, fun match as best I can recall. And yeah, Brock Lesnar coming back out. Brock Lesnar, the perpetual threat in pro wrestling. There he was. He showed up, and
The dragon that he could not slay.
ugh, good lord. What came after this, Dom?
All right. Crown Jewel. Brock
Oh,
Lesnar. And their rivalry been going on for what, like 7 years so far since this happened?
So this is when
Roman's
Yeah.
finally getting the best of Brock because Brock didn't beat Roman when he came back.
yeah,
You
you're
know,
right.
it's all about that Arab money. So Brock had to be out there.
Crazy.
All right. After this, I really don't remember this Survivor Series. Him and Big E.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember this.
As we're going through this show, we're recounting Roman Reigns' title defenses, and spoiler alert, you're gonna get the same answer every single time. But just like I gave a couple answers about WrestleMania in Tampa, about SummerSlam in Las Vegas, I was also at the Survivor Series where Roman Reigns, the Universal Champion, faced off 1-on-1 with the New Day one, the WWE Champion, Big E. Where's his last name? Langston.
Where was this
It was in the Barclays. The Barclays.
at? Damn.
Before that, we discovered Avenue J, a little Jewish neighborhood where we discovered Jewish food and Chinese food in the same restaurant. It was fantastic. We didn't get the Chinese food, but they offered it, and I really want to try it. Some gefilte fish and General Tso's chicken.
It's all about the seasonings.
But yeah, so Big E and Roman Reigns, and you know what happened here. Roman Reigns took it, but Big E, you can track a lot of guys' title reigns as being underwhelming, and yeah, him losing to Roman Reigns didn't help him at all. So this it was just disappointing, but it would be a match I would go back to watch again just because I like the idea of Big E versus Roman Reigns, even though the outcome was probably a little too predictable.
Spoiler alert.
So our next match. Oh, go ahead. What you gonna say, Papa?
Nah, it just seems that apparently when Roman was a champion, if someone else was the other champion, the opponents were never even close to what Roman had. They made sure Roman had that the top tier opponents to match his title reign. But when it came to like Big E, Kofi, all these other guys, their title reigns were never put up to that level. Yeah, they had moments, but they were never put up to the point where it was like Vince is actually going to put his whole backing towards these guys. It's crazy thinking about that. Like, yeah, was the guy. This is who we thought about it. I think in later interviews, Bully even said he talked to Vince, and Vince told him like, "Dude, this is the guy that's gonna lead us into the next generation for the next 10 years." And Dom, let's let's continue before I finish that.
All right, so our next match, I really don't recall this because I know later on they had a hell of a feud. So on SmackDown, it's against Sami Zayn.
Oh,
I don't know because I don't think he was Bloodline at this time.
No.
no,
No,
not
so
even close.
this is probably getting ready to be what was he, the Rebel at the time, because he's on the verge of fighting Johnny Knoxville
I think yeah,
eventually.
I think you're right. He's still healed this time, so it could have just been
Didn't he
a
have,
one off, I guess.
didn't he have like his own like paparazzi or fucking his own TMZ type deal going on? I forget what he called it back then. Jesus Christ.
I don't think that was
Not
coming into
not
play yet. This was a SmackDown match, Don.
Yeah, SmackDown.
Yeah, so
Also, so that didn't come until after the Johnny Knoxville thing, I'm guessing.
I mean the it would kind of begin sort of. It was all coming around the same time, but Sami Zayn's feud with Johnny Knoxville would really pick up in the Royal Rumble match where Johnny Knoxville was a competitor. So
Yep. Yep.
Okay, all right.
just
That wasn't
another
me.
went off.
I guess I owe you guys a beer.
Heyo. John's got 2 beers coming. And he always denies them. So, but yeah, Sami Zayn in an early match with Roman Reigns before he would become fully vested into the Bloodline storyline. So, what was next after Sami Zayn?
I don't remember this until I recently watched it on a WWE documentary. At the Elimination Chamber, Roman Reigns defended the title against Goldberg. My man.
That was in
What?
Saudi, wasn't it?
Was it Saudi?
It must have been.
I know.
Yeah.
I know at this time. I know Goldberg. He was
Yeah.
trying to do one more run, and he was getting squashed. He looked bad.
I mean, he even wore shorts, like not even cool shorts, just shorts. He didn't wear his tights or anything like that. It was just kind of lame. Gear is really important in wrestling, guys. So I'll never forget, Stone Cold wearing a T-shirt to WrestleMania 15. You would never notice Drew McIntyre not with his actual gear at WrestleMania XL, but you would notice it at the Backlash or whatever the Lyon France pay per view was even at that one. But I just know he came out with gear recently, like on some show, and I was like, "Oh, that looks like really nice gear." Maybe that was the one he was supposed to wear at this year's Mania that didn't make it in time. But I digress.
Digress.
Money.
Yeah. So poor Goldberg, but you already know Roman's gonna get that dub. All right. So after this, WrestleMania 38. This is when he unifies the title. He go against Brock Lesnar. You already know what happened. Now, Platano and I, we were there. Strap, were you there?
I was there.
We was all there.
That's right.
Down in Dallas, home of the Cowgirls.
Down in the upper decks, and then the middle decks, then the big dicks.
Okay.
That was night 2, right?
Night 2.
That was night 2. It was the biggest match of all time, and it lasted 12 minutes.
Was that the last match, or did Austin and Kevin Owens end of this?
That was night
night?
1. Night 2 was this epic match of epic proportions, and allegedly Roman hurt his shoulder early. Was it a shoot? Who knows? But this did not live up to the hype of being one of the biggest match in pro wrestling history. So it's very sour on it, especially considering all the other matches they've had over time. I mean, what else can you do? They fought, as you mentioned, in Saudi the previous fall. They've wrestled at New Orleans at WrestleMania. They've fought at the Santa Clara at WrestleMania and in the 4-way at SummerSlam at the Barclays. That was a good one.
Yep.
And so what could you do this time? Well, it was just too damn short for the hype they gave to it. So let's just say the real main event of that weekend, of course, was Stone Cold and Kevin Owens. So,
That was that the night that Cody came back to
yes,
WWE?
no weekend at least. Yeah,
Same weekend. Yep. Because it was night one with Seth.
and the infamous Johnny Knoxville and Sami Zayn match.
I still didn't watch this whole show back in the entirety, even though we was there. But I did watch that Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville because you pointed it out.
It was a bet. We had to.
Was it a bet?
Yep.
Yeah, I had to watch Logan Paul and Roman Reigns.
Yes, and we got.
Hey, where's that match in this? That's coming up. I guess.
All right, so last week I made an estimate. I said, "Oh, Roman had about 25 matches." Nah, he had 32 matches, 32 title reigns, and right now we are at number 20, about to get on number 21. So his next championship match is on SmackDown, and he's going against Matt Riddle, bro.
It was actually a pretty decent match, except for that. Oh, that was Matt Riddle just coming on that little scooter.
Yeah.
Did you guys think Riddle had a chance?
He had probably one of the more logistic. Well, Jesus Christ, Matt, calm down. He probably had one of the more legitimate matches that seemed like he had a chance, but I don't think Vince was actually going to back up his. He kind of reminded him so much of RVD, so maybe he didn't feel that he could have done it, but in real life, Matt Riddle would have beat his ass.
I liked it. I liked Riddle as a challenger as much as I liked Cesaro as the challenger in the same time frame the previous year. It was just nice to see. How realistic was the title going to change? Probably not, but it was nice to see a truly fresh face in the title picture. So it was more memorable than a one-off with Sami Zayn in December on SmackDown.
Now, was Randy hurt at this time? This is when he hurt his neck or his shoulder again?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's when that
was a weird
bloodline. The bloodline took him out.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's when they unified the tag titles. Oh God.
So that's probably what it was. It was probably meant for Randy,
Right,
and then old injuries will fucking come over. So.
Yeah, if you watch the A&E biography, Randy had that injury since 2010. Man,
lingering injuries.
Yeah.
So at this point, we already did 21 matches of Roman Reigns, and
blackjack.
You probably had maybe 2 guys that possibly had a chance of taking the title if you want to do something with them, but it didn't happen. And them 2 guys would have been Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens.
Maybe
nobody thought nobody thought Edge was gonna win.
No.
Nobody. Cena, I look forward to the Cena match, but nobody thought he was gonna beat Roman. But we didn't really make it a big thing at this time. Yeah, they probably announced Roman in such and such days as champion, whatever. But
they didn't even do that at that time yet.
I don't think they really acknowledged like that at the time.
No, he wasn't doing the acknowledged thing until about his maybe I want to say around Survivor Series this year. So I think that's when he found that character by happenstance. But what's the next defense?
The next defense, I was there. SummerSlam, Brock Lesnar in the last man standing match. And that shit was dope. Down in Nashville, Tennessee. And the significant thing about this, Brock came out with that damn tractor trailer and he lifted up the ring. You never seen no shit like that. You never would expect anything like that. Cowboy Brock having fun. And he just hopped the top rope like nothing. I do recall when they were making the announcement and Brock threw the mic and Roman just caught it like nothing.
Yep.
That shit was dope.
That's because Roman Reigns is a true athlete and John Cena is trash. Couldn't wrestle his way out of a paper bag.
You can't duplicate that, man. I don't even think you could have predicted that, timed it. There's no way. No way.
I mean, there was a like an Instagram reel or some sort, where they showed the two. Like Brock Lesnar threw a microphone at John Cena. He tried to catch it, but he just swatted it
Couldn't.
off, and no one gave too many more thoughts to it. But Roman catching it, it's something Brock Lesnar must have that was something he wanted to do, and Roman being
Probably.
the true athlete that he is,
Roman, he didn't even sell it.
shouldn't have even winked.
He did. He
Yo.
winked. He winked them like, yeah, I got it.
Shouldn't have.
No, it added to the character. Like, yep, that's why I'm the tribal chief.
This is the
Nah,
final match between Roman and Brock right here.
This was the final match between these two.
Is the final match between these two. Yep, that was it.
Why do I feel? Oh no, yep, I know why. Yep, never mind. Never mind.
I'm gonna take a baseball bat to an Acura. Yeah, an interesting factoid. The last Roman and Brock one-on-one. I mean, Dom, you were there, so you had a different perspective. I didn't like it. I thought it was ridiculous as hell. I hated it. I thought it was stupid, so stupid. But another thing, I haven't gone back to watch, but I'll remember it. I remember that SummerSlam more for being the debut of Damage Control to WWE.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Oh boy.
oh my goodness.
All right. So after this, we got Clash at the Castle with Drew McIntyre
Oh my god.
in his hometown or home country. And I thought, okay, maybe this might be the one. Maybe Drew might get him this time around.
That crowd
At
was
home?
rocking.
Oh, man.
That
Oh,
crowd
man.
was going nuts.
Bloodline tried to interfere and it wasn't happening. Drew was still doing the damn thing, but we have somebody get called up, another family member from NXT, Solo. We get the debut of Solo. He interfered. Roman with the
Samoan
win.
Spike. Oof.
Oh man, how you lose at home like that?
Hey, it's WWE. Oh, we're home? Take the L.
And the crazy thing is, later on this month, they're back in Scotland, wherever Drew's from. So he better not lose again. Like, you can't lose two in a row, bro.
Glasgow?
Yeah, Glasgow.
Is he going against Damien?
Yeah, watch the King of the Ring to find out.
Yeah, it's true. I gotta watch that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Clash of the Castle. You're right. Yeah, the one of the more credible opponents. I think they already had something lined up for the next year's WrestleMania. I think they already had something lined up. So you were thinking the rumors of The Rock were always swirling around, and I think it was someone believed him. Like, it's L.A. It's his backyard, So we're like, it's gonna be Rock and Roman in L.A. So how is Roman? Maybe Drew can just win it for a month, one of those things. But it was just not meant to be. Give credit to the staff for making sure Roman kept the title, kept the championship reign strong. But yeah, this was a real legitimate threat to the title, and it also introduced Solo Sequoia as a new member of the faction.
Yes.
The Bloodline.
Yes. The Bloodline. All right. So after this, we get Crown Jewel, Logan Paul. Here you go, John. Break it down.
Logan Paul, every jabroni's favorite wrestler. The match was built around one thing, and one thing only. I think Dominic Toretto's on Vauxhall Street. That one lucky punch from Logan Paul, built around one move, one finishing maneuver. That's it. I mean, okay. But yeah, Logan Paul, he was just a challenger for, and that's what we're doing. We're going through challengers. We're beating guys, stacking them, pinning them. And why not do one with Logan Paul? Did he have a shot? Of course he had a shot. Everyone has a chance. Everyone has an opportunity. Everyone has one lucky shot at it. But he did not succeed. And Roman Reigns, again, walks away the winner. But this one I did not feel mad, sad, or bad or glad, but maybe glad. Because Logan Paul, you're no friend of mine.
Yeah, it was a good ass match. I'll never forget. It was on a Saturday. It was like maybe like a 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time show, and I think Abel's at work. I'm watching this shit. I'm like, yo, you need to hear him get home and watch this shit.
Yeah.
John's like, John, no, I'm not watching it. John, you need to watch it. You need to watch this match. This is a good ass match.
Well,
it was an entertaining match.
Here's what happened. I was at work, and sometimes there's some downtime at work, and I was watching the show, and I put it on pause because I put the show on pause because I had to go do work, amongst the quiet times, and it was one of those. It was live, like streaming live. So, but by the time I got back to it, I played the show through, and it had been so long that the show just cut off, and Peacock was not so quick to put the replay up. So that's why it took me so long to watch the match, because I was like, you know what, the only match I missed was this one. And well, guess what? The finish is already, I didn't even know it, but I did know it. Like we all know it. We knew what the finish was going to be, and I was like, I'm not really interested in the match anyway, so I just skipped it until I was challenged on this very podcast by certain Logan Paul fanboys to watch it in exchange.
Who's a fanboy?
Y'all.
I'm not a Logan Paul fanboy.
I'm not a fan.
I just like the man's work.
Well, you made me watch the match.
I was shocked.
Who made me watch that match when I didn't want to?
Dom.
Yeah,
hey,
right next to you, Abel.
You made me watch Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah, that was the exchange.
That was great.
That was the exchange. So there you go.
All right, we can do that with some pandemic shows.
God, no.
Pass.
Yeah. Dante, I swear to God. I know where you live. And I don't even need to drive over there. I'll walk.
If you need a ride, head to Town Fair Tire, apparently where they're having a race right now.
Yes. All right. Our next show is the Royal Rumble. He's going against Kevin Owens. And you were there. Weren't you?
What'd you say?
Royal Rumble.
Kevin Owens? Again? No, not this one. I was not at this one.
So the following year. Okay.
Yeah, so this is the getting to the peak ooziness of Sami Zayn in the bloodline. And Sami Zayn was at I wish I had the fancy terminology here, but he was at a point where he had to choose between his on and off BFF Kevin Owens or his loyalty to the tribal chief and the bloodline. And this is this is the Royal Rumble. This is the show it happened. This is where it all came crashing down, and they're about to beat one on Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn just didn't want it to happen, and Sami Zayn got laid the smacketh down on his candy ass.
Well, we know who won the Royal Rumble.
Who?
The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
Yes, he did.
But next match, Elimination Chamber in Montreal. The hometown boy,
Canada.
or Quebec, whatever. Sami Zayn. That fan.
Another show.
They was hot. Them boys was hot. I was like, he might be able to do it.
Yeah, the way
We
that
all
crowd
want
was
Sami.
going.
We all want Sami to win.
All you really have to do is go back to the terrible audio and visual days of the It Doesn't Matter podcast to hear the preview and the fallout of this very match and pay-per-view, because we're all taking predictions on Sami Zayn winning the championship in his hometown and then not seeing him win the championship in his hometown and the fallout after that. But that's one thing I remember from that event, that match, is that it was the beginning of this very podcast.
Yep.
Yeah, that was February. Oh man, that's probably like episode 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah, not the one we filmed 5 times.
We upgraded. We came a long way.
Hey,
We got ways to go.
yeah.
Yes.
We got to hit 100, baby.
We will. We already at like almost 80 episodes. Yeah.
Damn it, Dom.
That wasn't me.
Not that one. Toretto.
For those that
God
have
damn.
no idea
Alright.
what's going on, we have we live at homes, people, and we live at homes with long, lengthy streets and a bunch of J-Brones who like to steal VCRs, TVs, and DVD players. They're
I
just
was wondering.
hanging out at the local shopping centers, and they're interfering with the
I knew I
podcast.
heard a freaking tractor trailer back here too.
Talking about Big Daddy Cool Diesel.
Toot, toot.
Or you just see a bunch of cardboard boxes on the side of a street in New Haven and wonder where the Foot Clan are. Oh boy. Oh my god.
Oh.
In case y'all
even he's
forgot.
saying, even he's saying like, stop it.
This is the kind of girl guy. But I love him so much. Well, this is the picture. I love him so
All
much.
right.
He's so awesome.
All right. Let's go to Hollywood. WrestleMania 39. Strap, you were there. Abel was asleep.
Yep.
Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Let's hear your take one more time for the people that don't know.
Swinging. Yeah, this was supposed to be it. Cody Rhodes came back to the WWE because this is where he wanted to be. This is where his daddy Dusty Rhodes did not become WWE champion, but Cody Rhodes could, and he was here to win the title and do all the things that he wanted to do as WWE champion. And the stage was set, but it was not meant to be, as Roman Reigns, with heavy interference, defeated the aspiring Cody Rhodes, and disappointing many. However, as I was sitting in the crowd there, I was not one of those Cody cry babies.
There was no such thing at that time.
You shut your mouth. But but I wasn't terribly. I mean, everyone thought Cody should win at that time, and they, I mean, with hindsight, they were better off doing what they did. But
Yes.
what if Cody won it at the time? It would have. I think it would have worked just as well. You could have went either way with it, and that's how most storylines should be. And I think you should be good either way. But no, they decided to keep the feud going and have Cody finish it the following year, maybe. But no, this was a really good match, and the finish left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths, but not in mine. Tasted pretty good.
No, it was a really good match. Like you said, there was a lot of times where you would have thought Cody was actually going to pull it off, but Solo with another Samoan spike, man, out of nowhere too. You just crazy.
Yeah, I agree. I remember while John was in Hollywood, me and you making predictions, and I was conflicted. Like, whoever won, I'd have been cool with. And by at the end of the day, I was still happy that Roman retained the title. And we did not know how that match is going to go. Like, that match went, over a half hour, I want to say?
Yep.
Unpredictability right there. Oh, man, I had a fan on the edge of his seat. I know John was on the edge of his seat because we were on the couch. Well, except for you. But but it was a good ass match. I enjoyed it, and it needed to happen. It needed Roman to win so we can be at where we at right now.
I agree. Totally
That's for
agree.
sure. That's for
Such
sure.
is life.
So that was his last title defense until SummerSlam, win against main event Jey Uso. That's a gap.
Well, he did have a match, a tag team match the previous month, but
Yeah, and he
his
lost,
next
and Jey
title
Uso got the
defense.
pin.
That's right. So Roman Reigns can go that long between title defenses, but Rhea Ripley cannot. Mm-hmm. So
Well, he ain't injured.
Well, so he tells you.
Well, the way they laid out once Roman, well, we'll get to but yeah, Jey Uso and Roman Reigns going at it for the title. Man, this is another. Ooh, this one actually did believe. I had more faith in Jey Uso pulling it out versus the Thunderdome era, but also not meant to be. But and because they had a lot of conflict with Jay, with the brothers. Well,
Not at this time.
the twins. No,
Not
not,
at
not
this time. No, not
isn't
at
that
this
when
time. But
Jimmy came back?
Yeah, Jimmy came back, and then he pulled my man's leg, pause, and that's when he attacked him. Didn't
Right.
fear.
They didn't
Yeah,
know where
yeah.
Jimmy was
But
at.
they didn't have no issues at the time. Just Jay had the issue with the bloodline, and he's trying to recruit Jimmy. Oh, let's be out. Let's be out. And it wasn't happening, and
Yeah.
I did this out to protect you. I'm your brother. And that's what happened. So I knew Jay wasn't gonna win that night. Cause I did predict that. Check the archives.
Let's not and say we did. And as a matter of fact, no. So what was after the SummerSlam match? What was the next title defense for our tribal chief?
It's at Crown Jewel, and he went against L.A. Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It didn't work out for him because he lost. He was over like Rover, and
That's right.
his career just went downhill from there.
It took some time. LA Knight's star was going on a downward trend, but it's picked up in recent time, especially with his win at WrestleMania XL over the Phenomenal One. But LA Knight's back. He went down for a bit, but he's back. So good for him.
All right, so after this, we get the Royal Rumble. This is the one you went to, and it was a fatal four-way. You got AJ Styles, L.A. Knight, Randy Orton, and your tribal chief.
That's right. No threat of a title change here, but they did try, but no one believed it. Whether you heard the crowd or not, I did, but no one was really believing that anything was going to happen here. But they knew that, I knew that, and we were just in for a good time with the recently returned Randy Orton, a AJ Styles with who knows what's going on with him, and of course the still popular LA Knight. But it was a fun match, a fun title defense, but not a serious one, because we knew the story to come.
Yep.
I picked Orton to win that match.
You really?
Check the rundown. While John was in the hotel room eating bagels, I said Orton.
I think I said Randy.
There you go.
No,
You
I
just
think
said
I said Roman. Roman was the one that
Randy,
I don't remember.
the person with the R, right?
Somebody would. I think I picked the Roman because I didn't think it was going to be anybody from there. It didn't make any sense. To lose the title in a fatal four-way, yeah, it's possible, but that run that he was having was so historic, and to lose it in a fatal four-way, I said, there's no way. They want to put that belt on somebody who can be legit, say, I beat Roman Reigns. So I said Roman was going to win that.
Told you at that time, before my man got hurt, Orton was hot. It should have been him and Roman at SummerSlam instead of him and Brock, but that injury set him back big time.
Yeah, that will do it.
All right, here we go. WrestleMania 40, Philadelphia, night one. We had a tag match. You got the most electrifying man in all entertainments. The People's Champ, The Rock. And you got
Final
the
boss.
WWE Undisputed Universal Champion, the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. Go against the World Heavyweight Champion, Seth frickin' Rollins. And your 2023 and 2024 Royal Rumble winner, dashing Cody Rhodes.
My son, baby, Cody. Say the name right. Codell Runnels.
Codell. But man, this was a long ass match. a long ass match. What, damn near 40 minutes?
Long and cold.
Yep.
Yes.
I don't know how that felt, but I had the heater on.
Probably was asleep.
No, I was up.
I had a cat line.
I
on
remember.
it.
I remember watching this with Nikki. Shit, so emotional.
Who, her or you?
Me.
What for?
This was really emotional seeing Cody's return, man. Just like coming back from AEW and his whole story. Never actually winning the title that his dad never got. So it was good.
You felt that
It
way
was
night
really
one?
good. No, night two.
We talking about night one.
I thought you were talking about night two. My bad.
I said
Because I'm
Cody returned. We seen him at WrestleMania 39
tired.
and 38.
My bad. I'm tired. I had a long day. Shit.
Yeah, but that tag team.
Hey,
match,
we're live, pal.
Yeah. we
Can I
are.
smoke a cigarette?
No.
Go ahead.
But you can't abuse that, man.
But that
Don't do that.
that night one match, it was dope. Ended up getting bloodline rules, which was expected, but we knew it was Cody's time. Everybody knew it.
Yeah.
He ran his course.
Maybe.
It was, it was to the point where like, all right,
Enough.
if Roman continues, he has no choice but to break Hogan's record. He had to.
Not even.
But if Cody loses,
he didn't even
you
have
can't. If Cody loses, all right, you're going right back to the bottom of the barrel. You can't.
And that's where you shoot the fish. No, listen.
But,
The match, it was not predictable. That's the point. It was not predictable. There are legitimate reasons for Roman Reigns to win. There's legitimate reason for Cody Rhodes to win. So that's what makes it interesting. You have great cases for both, but which one were they going to go with? And with WWE, you never know.
Flippable coin. That's
The only thing we're sure about WWE is that something might change.
Yeah, like SummerSlam is going to be 2 nights in 2026.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Yeah, 2026.
Wow.
In Minnesota.
Where's that going to be at now? Oh,
As a make good for not getting WrestleMania. If you're going to go to Minnesota, that's the time to go, I guess. Get all them
probably
tall, mountainous women.
We could talk about that right now, but I really don't want to get into that. That's a whole other conversation.
It's a whole other show.
SummerSlam being 2 nights. BDC already called me about that, and I'm like, oh god, but I don't want to talk about that right now. It's another story. Give me my thoughts about that another time.
But night 2 of WrestleMania XL, the final title defense. Now it's time for Abel to get emotional.
Go ahead. Right. Rewind. Do what you gotta do.
No. I already ruined the damn fucking thing. So
you didn't ruin it. People know what happened. They know what happened. But still.
So they knew this match was going to be full of men and women. Sorry. The people knew that this match was going to be full of Gaga, Lady Gaga, that is. But they knew there was a lot of shenanigans going to be happening with this match. They expected it, they wanted it, and they got it in droves. Okay, they got it with a standard match for the first 15, 20 minutes or so, and then the shenanigans happened. Then what we expected to happen, which has happened in every single one of those 32, right? Title defenses, 31 successful title defenses. Most of them.
31 going
interference.
To 32. Yep.
Interference. First by the perennial Jimmy Uso. Then he gets taken out by Black Falcon. Main event, Jey Uso. Because Cody called on the Avengers. And then who was coming up next to interfere? It was, help me out,
Solo
Sikoa. And out came the man who Solo Sikoa
and you cannot
devastated at some Saudi show the previous fall. The doctor of Thugonomics, John Cena, and John Cena took care of Solo Sikoa. And then it was time for Roman's last hurrah, hurrah. It was the final boss, Dwayne Johnson. BDE, Big Dwayne Energy. Here he comes, looking all boss like. And he's about to lay the smack down on Cody Rhodes' candy ass. But there was a bell, and not Taco Bell. No, not the cravings box. No,
Hold
what
up,
we
hold
crave.
hold up.
All right, what?
Don't do it. Yeah, I remember that Shield sound came in just before
Before? Oh,
before
fuck him.
Taker.
So the Undertaker. So Seth
I kid you
Rollins,
not, man. I swear to God, I thought John Moxley was gonna show up.
I don't know why anyone thought that.
I don't know why. I told
I
you
don't
this
know.
shit. He's under contract, man.
I don't know. I know, but Tony Khan doesn't give a shit. He's like, hey, fuck it.
He does
Good
give
night.
a shit. He's
Have it.
tired of fucking with the WWE guys. Anyway, so you're right. Yes, before that, because I didn't remember it, the Shield music hits, and in a moment that they played back many times to remind us of Seth Rollins saying that I will be your Shield, and Seth Rollins' history of messing with Roman Reigns' psyche. Here he comes. He gets doesn't he get knocked out immediately? I haven't watched this match back.
Yeah.
So all I know is the behind this the crowd shots, the camera footage from fans of Seth rolling
I
into
just
the
forget
ring
if it
and then
was-
getting stomped out.
Yeah, he got knocked out. I guess both his
it-
legs went out, man. He got what, double quads
Okay.
injury, some shit.
But he wasn't over. He wasn't done at that point. He did come back a little bit later, right?
He was just out. he was just lingering around.
No.
Because
Yeah, he did,
that
he
led
did.
directly
No, he
to the
was around
finish,
there.
right? He came after the
Yep.
Undertaker shit. Seth Rollins back up to get that one last chair shot, which then
Oh
led
yeah,
to
yeah. Okay,
Cody
okay.
Rhodes. So okay.
Yeah, because
try
he
this
was
over again, guys.
Roman was
That-
trying to
that boy was
debate:
hobbling.
should I take out Cody? Should I take out Seth?
But right before that, the whole
Yeah.
Undertaker schmoz happened with The Rock. So
Caught me off guard. I was not expecting that.
caught me off guard. Ruined my whole momentum. But you were right. I forgot that part. So never mind.
Damn
So
right.
Cody
your
Rhodes won the
back.
title.
Yes, the American
Stump-
Nightmare
good
wins
stump.
the title. It was good. It was good. It was a great reign for Roman Reigns, your tribal chief. So
Probably one of the greatest reigns of all times.
we'll never see it again. We'll never see another reign like that again.
I will take all of Bret Hart's defenses over any of Roman Reigns.
Really?
As I hold my Roman Reigns action
That-
figure. Where's he at? Don't ask that question.
Down here.
Down there. But yeah, that was the culmination of Roman Reigns' championship run all the way from August of 2020 all the way to March,
April.
of 2024.
Yes.
So, I mean, the whole thing. See, Roman Reigns' career before this was as I wouldn't call it a failed face run, but it just was not. It was forced down the throats of WWE fans. It was not what they wanted. And who's to say they wanted to heel Roman Reigns? No one said that either. But that's what he became, and that's when he got over finally. That's when, Roman Reigns became what he was forecasted to be, the absolute number one megastar of the entire company, the face, the guy that would be on every single poster and souvenir cup and multi-person T-shirt that they would ever sell. He finally became
sneakers.
that guy,
And no
and
sneaker.
Coming out
developed
next
in,
year.
developed in Wakanda, sneakers. So Roman Reigns finally lived up to what they expected him to be. The number one guy, and they had to do a lot. They had to sacrifice a lot, not just in many ways, but they had to sacrifice not the careers of superstars, but the pushes and they didn't push Cesaro or Riddle or Big E or Drew McIntyre over Roman Reigns. They picked Roman Reigns and they stuck with him. And I'm being able now. And in the end, it was worth it. It was worth it because they had all this stock in Roman Reigns, and then Cody Rhodes has taken that stock, and I think he is doing a great job as the new man of WWE as the world champion. Um, so was it worth it? Yes.
Shout out Vince McMahon. You seen something in this guy. You believed. You stuck to your guns. Well, he had no choice, regardless, but it worked. It worked with Hogan. You had a vision of Hogan. It worked with Hogan. You had a vision with John Cena. It worked with him. It didn't work with the Ringmaster, but worked with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Shawn
I got a
Michaels.
question for you.
Go ahead.
Does Roman Reigns kick somebody off of Mount Rushmore and become the head of Mount Rushmore?
No.
Just want to make sure.
No.
Because the way you've been, Roman Reigns.
Hey.
I do the same thing with Kenny Omega.
Y'all need
Well, that's one
chapstick.
thing we can agree on. Get the chapstick out.
It depends on who you. If there's one thing Regal I don't like, it's chapped lips. But yeah, the Mount Rushmore of pro wrestling, you will never eclipse the people we grew up watching. You won't.
Yeah.
You can't eclipse Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Brett, Shawn, Rock, and Austin. You can't. But for a new generation of pro wrestling fans, will they put Roman Reigns at the top of that? Yes, because they grew up with it.
Yeah.
And can you dispute it? No, you could try, but you won't because it's a generational thing, and that's the way it's going to be. But for our generation, people of our age, could Roman Reigns be atop of a Mount Rushmore? For some people, yeah. But for Dom, no. For me, no. Abel, how about you?
Not yet.
No, no. So
Not yet. Not
Definitely
never.
Hall of Famer.
Like,
three
yeah.
knows. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
definitely
just,
Hall of Famer.
if you,
Yeah, but he's not.
if you
Like-
put
like John
in,
said,
if
it's
you put him
generational.
as a, yeah, I say generational, but also I gotta also think about the business itself. Was he the guy that transcended the business? There's only a few guys that's ever done that. It's Hogan, so he got us all to the masses. Ric Flair is everywhere now. He's been a part of pop culture for years.
Not in the bar.
Yeah, stop it.
Shush.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels was the greatest greatest entertainer of all time, but was he ever that guy that if someone never watched wrestling, they'd be like, "Who's that guy?" Is Shawn ever mentioned as one of those guys like, "Oh, I watched wrestling because of Shawn, and I never watched it"? No, I watched it because of Hogan, Flair. Cena, another guy. He's in that generational. He breaks the gap. He breaks all the barriers. And Roman Reigns, unfortunately, he's in that tier where he's the business. When you mention WWE, you mention Roman Reigns. He's the Hulk Hogan of this era. So, is he in our Mount Rushmore? No, you're not kicking Brett off my Mount Rushmore, but he's gonna be there probably after everything's said and done.
I doubt
If you
it.
think about it, you're going. You're not going by just wrestling matches. I'm talking about breaking the gap from wrestling and going into Hollywood and all that. He's gonna be there.
I doubt it.
He might make that impact.
I doubt it for a Mount Rushmore because I would put John Cena in my Mount Rushmore with Roman Reigns. Cena did more for the business than Roman Reigns itself. Roman Reigns, yes,
That I
he
can definitely.
had he had the record. It's cool. He had the big fight feel because I got hyped every week when they said, "Oh, Roman Reigns gonna be appearing on SmackDown such and such night, whatever," and that's dope. That gives you that Hulk Hogan vibe, that feel. But it's just a whole different generation, like John said, and yeah, he's not gonna be my Rushmore. Mount Rushmore. For me, Hogan, Flair, Austin, and Undertaker. That's my Mount Rushmore right there.
I can't even put Taker in because he's a different category. He's the one that built it. He's the creator. It's a crazy thing, I know.
He can move mountains. He can move rocks. The Undertaker.
He's in a league of his own.
There you go. He's just up there by himself.
Literally.
him and his 20
Floating.
gimmicks.
Him and King.
Floating because he's dead.
Down here, they all float.
Bloop bloop.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh Lord! Well, this is the fun show about the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, and I might not say anything about him until he makes his return. So get your glasses up. We gonna do it. John, don't put that empty bottle up there,
It's full at the bottom.
just like your toilet. We're gonna take a shots for the Tribal Chief.
You already took a shot at him.
Yeah. You got me woozy.
Woo! But that wraps up the month of May. June is approaching, and we have some interesting topics coming up. But I'm gonna leave that it's a surprise. But next week we're gonna talk about John's favorite wrestler of all time. He got a birthday coming up. Mick Foley.
Mick Foley, who will be making a pit stop in Saugus, Massachusetts in the month of June. And
You want to go?
someone I know wants to go. And she's going to meet him while I sit outside twiddling my thumbs.
Kowloon's, Massachusetts.
Hell yeah, baby. Kowloon,
He's
where
gonna
all the WWE superstars go after a show.
He's going to talk about his anniversary of the infamous Hell in a Cell with the Dead Man.
Mm-hmm.
And spoiler alert, we will be talking about that in the month of June. Spoiler.
There you go.
There you go. That's all you're getting. That's all I'm saying for now. But Mick Foley next week.
All right.
Abel.
I guess we're getting the wrap up, baby. Well, it's time to end the show. I am Papi Platano. I'm here with the Notorious One. We actually stumped the strap facts today for a little bit. Fulker. This is the It Doesn't Matter podcast, and we will see you next week. Boom.
Boo.